Hi, my name's Julia Harrison. I work at the Government Digital Service, or GDS as we call ourselves, which is part of the Cabinet Office. I'm a head of product, and one of the areas I look after is reliability engineering. And this talk is called Leading Smart People, and I want to start by quickly talking about something I hear sometimes from the product managers I work with, but also sometimes from tech leaders. And these are some lies that people tell themselves. And maybe at some point in your career, you told yourself lies like these, or maybe the people you work with tell themselves lies like these right now. And these are things like, I should know all the answers, or I'll only be respected if I'm the most technical, or I'll sound stupid if I ask questions, or I'm an imposter here. And I've got good news for you on that last one. Unless it's your first week, you can't be an imposter. Worst case, you're an infiltrator. And I don't know if you noticed, but on my first slide, I had my Twitter handle. And my Twitter handle is Julia from IT. I haven't worked in a traditional IT department for quite a while, but I started out in desktop support. I spent about 10 years working on support and Windows infrastructure projects. I got into IT service management, then service improvement, and from there I got into product management kind of by accident. And some years later, here I am, head of product, looking after reliability engineering at GDS. So I'm totally an infiltrator. I mean, don't worry, I'm not a spy. I am security cleared. And I started this talk with this quote from Michael Dell: try never to be the smartest person in the room. And if you are, I suggest you invite smarter people or find a different room. So, okay, we know we're not supposed to be the smartest people in the room, but if the leader isn't the smartest person in the room, then what are they? Well, by definition, a leader is someone people follow. It's not the job of a leader to tell everyone what to do. It's the job of the leader to set direction and inspire people to follow it. Not all leaders even have line management responsibilities. And a good leader is someone people follow not because they have to, but because they want to. So if you want people to follow you, you should probably know where we're going. At GDS, we have reliability engineering teams and we have product managers with those teams. And that's not something that's common in a lot of organizations, I think, but something that having a product manager does do for a product. Product managers often set a vision, and they do that even when the teams they work with are reliability engineering. And a vision should be an ambitious, inspiring, achievable statement about where we're going. So here's the vision for one of the areas I look after. We transform government by making it simpler to build digital services and run them the right way. And your vision should be something your stakeholders and your wider organization can buy into. Get them excited about it because first off, it's helpful securing funding, but also because it will come in handy getting their support in sticking to your strategy. And speaking of strategy, you'll also need one of those. So strategy is how we get there. And it's one of these things you often mean to do, but you often end up putting it off because it's hard and there are always more urgent things to take care of. But you might already have one, it just hasn't been written down. If you find it easy to make coherent decisions about what to do and not what not to do because you know the direction you're going in, actually that hints that you already have a strategy. You just need to figure out what it is and articulate it. And strategy should exist at all the different layers of your organization. Everyone should have an opportunity to contribute. It's not just a thing that some managers dream up. So if you don't have a written strategy right now, I started out by thinking about what is a minimum viable strategy and what should it do? And I think for me, it needs to be two things. It needs to be a communication tool, both for ourselves and for others in the organization. And it needs to be a decision-making tool. So would it help us decide which things we should be doing against which things we shouldn't be doing? So here's our reliability engineering strategy. So we want to bring things together on a common platform, and in our case, that common platform runs on our PaaS. We want to promote and use continuous deployment. We want to look at serverless. We want to use the shared responsibility model, and we want to have a standard approach to how we support our services. So hopefully that's just specific enough to help us and other teams understand where we're going, and hopefully it helps other teams understand how to align with us, or if they think that we're wrong, it gives them just enough information to come and challenge us and ask us what we're talking about. Another thing about strategy, it should be stable, not rigid. So if it feels like you're doing wrong things because the strategy says so, that's a really good clue that you need to challenge your strategy. You need to revisit it. It's really important that your strategy should be serving you, not the other way around. And if everyone in your organization contributes to developing it, hopefully they also feel empowered to challenge it if it feels like it's not serving its purpose anymore. So autonomy, mastery, and purpose. If you've read Dan Pink's book Drive or seen his TED Talk, these words might look familiar. And these are the conditions he calls out for intrinsic motivation. So that's the things that make people excited to come to work. They're not just dragging themselves to work to get paid. And he mostly applies it to individuals, but it works just as well for teams. And to look at it another way, why would you hire smart people and not give them these things? Why would you hire smart people and not give them autonomy to figure out how to do things? Why would you not want them to build mastery and carry on being smart and being better at what they do? And why would you not want them to feel that they have a sense of purpose, so they feel like they're contributing towards something meaningful and actually want to do it? So if we're setting an inspiring, ambitious vision and a strategy, we're giving people a sense of purpose. Awesome, we've already got one of these ticked off. So what next? What else do you need for people to want to follow you as a leader? So even if you have line management authority, getting people to do things because I'm your manager and I said so should be your absolute last resort. And you might not have line management over all the people you need to lead anyway. So being able to get people to come along with you, not because they have to, is a really important skill. And real leadership requires permission. And you get that permission if people respect you, and they respect you when they can see that you add value. So when you work closely with a team, one of the most visible ways you can add value is by unlocking the knowledge of the team. This is by having conversations with them that help them get